What's up everybody, D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and that is right, it's time. We're officially jumping back into the Godzilla news roundups. I got a lot of catching up to do because I'm really out of the loop. I have no idea what's going on, and I know you're thinking, why don't you just jump to the modern day? Because then I wouldn't have the context of everything I've not covered yet. You gotta think more linear than that. So let's get into it. In this video, we are going to be continuing our chronological journey through the release and development of Godzilla 1 by discussing our final set of events from November 2023. And without further ado, roll that freaking intro. Starting out, you guys know the formula. I want to show off some art from some creators in the Godzilla space, and this first piece comes to us from Pyrus Terrain. This is their Godzilla 1 art. I love his angry little face. That's fantastic. I also really love the way they've done the tail and the spines on the tail. Great texturing throughout the body, great detailing overall. I think that one is a really cute piece. This next one comes to us from Cool Guyzilla, and this is his -1 art. I love the hand-drawn aesthetic of it. I think this might just straight up be hand-drawn, which is awesome. I love hand-drawn art. There's Godzilla roaring there, looking fantastic, and the -1 hidden in the smoke there, which is super cool. I really love that one as well. And then this final one is this kind of upward looking shot of Godzilla tearing apart the train, which looks fantastic. Coming to us from Jess Zavala. Fantastic artwork right there. I love that. That looks great. First bit of news is that the Cavity Colors Godzilla 1 crossover collab merchandise was teased with this wonderful image of their Godzilla art, which is featured on their shirts. I do own some of their merchandise, and I could not recommend it more. I just think Cavity Colors makes fantastic merch. Their shirts are really high quality. I love Cavity Colors, and they should sponsor me so I can show off more of their merch because it's great stuff. Super 7 also teased their Godzilla 1 with this picture of his tail before getting into the full release details with a bunch of pictures of their Godzilla 1 looking absolutely fantastic. I mean, gosh, there's so many wonderful details on this sculpt. The paint's looking great on this prototype. The Super 7 Toho Ultimates Godzilla 1 runs you $85, or at least it did upon original release. It stands at 8 inches high and 14 inches wide. It's based on 3D models from Godzilla 1 and comes with approval from director Takashi Yamazaki. I was not able to afford the regular release of the Godzilla 1 from Super 7 Toho Ultimates, but I did get the minus color version, which I have reviewed on the channel. If you want to hear my in-depth thoughts, go check out that review where I also compare it to the SH Monster Arts to find out which one is worth your money. Because Godzilla 1 was rearing up to release in the United States, we got the wonderful IMAX poster of Godzilla destroying the Takao. That is so amazing. I loved this poster. I know my buddy Daichan's Movie Room, go check him out. He also loved this poster, shouting out that this one probably represents the movie the best, and I agree, making Godzilla feel like a true beast of the sea. So epic. This is the 40X poster. I loved the simplicity of it and how artistic it looks. That one is great as well. Love those blue spines. And this one might be the best poster overall. This is the Dolby poster. This one is so artsy. I love it. This one's got great mood. It's got so much power, and it just doesn't need to be too flashy. The smoke, the light beaming through Godzilla's spines, the silhouette, the power, the magnificence that displays, and it also shows that this was gonna be a pretty artistic Godzilla film, and it was. Tickets then went on sale for Godzilla 1 in the UK and Ireland, and Collider announced they would be hosting the premiere for Godzilla 1 in the United States. Following that, the premiere was actually held. I was invited, although I was not able to attend due to a family emergency, so unfortunately I didn't get to go. The premiere was actually held, and director Takashi Yamazaki and star Ryonosuke Kamiki both attended, showing up in the United States. Here's a picture of them in front of the Hollywood sign with Yamazaki holding a Godzilla there. There they are at the Godzilla Star on the Walk of Fame. Here they are at the red carpet, and this is where things get interesting because there's a real life continuity error going on here that I've noticed, as two of these photos of them in the United States show Yamazaki holding Godzilla the Ride, but this one on the red carpet, he's holding Godzilla 1. There they are being celebrated after the film played in the premiere, except if you look at those videos, Yamazaki's still holding Godzilla the Ride. So where did the Godzilla 1 come from that he's holding here? What the heck? This red carpet event was on November 10th in LA. Kaiju News Outlet was able to attend, took some pictures at the red carpet. I love that -1 poster over there in the background. Here's K&O's picture of Yamazaki arriving at the premiere, as well as Godzilla King of the Monsters director Michael Dougherty arriving at the premiere, followed with the actor who played Godzilla Godzilla in 2014, Godzilla King of the Monsters, and personal friend of the channel, TJ Storm, arriving on the red carpet for the premiere as well. Finally, K&O took a picture of the -1 logo on the red carpet. That looks wonderful. And then that big Toho Godzilla -1 banner, which is just sick, man. Toho Kingdom released photos of Takashi Yamazaki holding that Godzilla on the red carpet, as well as a picture of Yamazaki holding up my buddy Lenny Romero's artwork. Shout out Lenny, amazing artwork, and I love to see it. That looks so great. I love that Yamazaki got to hold it and celebrate that as well. Finally, we have some photos of the United States premiere featuring Yamazaki and Kamiki posing and taking pictures with fans and having a grand old time, and there we go, more continuity errors as Godzilla switches from being Godzilla the Ride to Godzilla -1 before our very eyes. I don't know what kind of wizardry was going on that day. Toho posted a video celebrating the US premiere on their YouTube channel. You can go check it out, linked down below, but I will run through the bullet points of that really fast. Starting out, Kamiki celebrates seeing Hollywood in real life and not just on TV. They then take photos at the Godzilla Star on the Walk of Fame, and then they express how nervous they are, but excited about how things are going to go that night. They're also very curious how US audiences will react to the movie. Kamiki in particular was nervous about speaking English, but both of them expressed concerns about it, and Kamiki also said he was nervous before the Shinjuku premiere, but that he was glad to be joined by Yamazaki so he wasn't alone. They then arrived and gave out signed mini posters to the fans, they took some photos, and then they got on stage to give a small speech. It's this whole interaction that really cements that these are two of the most wholesome people to have ever worked on a Godzilla film. They're just so wholesome and likable. They were cracking me up. I just thought it was so cute watching this video, man. They then celebrate that this is the first time the film will be seen out of Japan, and they also celebrate that it's a Japanese Godzilla movie. They place special emphasis on that and that it's making its way into America. They say that it's the best feeling being able to bring the film overseas, and then celebrate the feeling of watching it with an audience who had so much enthusiasm after the movie ended. The American audiences were apparently much more responsive than the Japanese ones, which was exciting for them. Kamiki was also moved to hear how much applause there was during the movie because it showed how deep the love of Godzilla runs overseas. Yamazaki said that watching this movie should give people courage. It should be a movie that inspires hope, seeing people work together. Kamiki then seems to show some compassion towards the character of Godzilla, although I'm not sure because my translations here got a little muddy. Yamazaki talks about how sometimes the Godzilla IP gets very cute, but that this movie should be a reminder that Godzilla can be scary and creepy. Godzilla is both an enemy and an ally to people at the same time, and that can happen in the same day and age as it's happening right now. That's what keeps Godzilla so fresh, according to director Takashi Yamazaki. He wanted this movie to be like the first one, in that it scares people, even though he also loves those cuter films as well. The energy in the room whenever Godzilla appeared was apparently very exciting. It impressed both of them, and they talk about how deep the love for Godzilla runs, and how even in intense moments people were still cheering for Godzilla. They talk about how it's a dream come true to share this movie with people overseas, and how it feels like a reward for working so hard and passionately on the project. Their big fear was that the movie was too specific for Japanese audiences and for the Japanese experience, and so it wouldn't be received well overseas. But after this premiere, they thought things were looking very well, and they were absolutely right, as the movie crushed it in America and is coming back to theaters real soon. How epic. I'm so excited. -1 then prepared for a 1-week release in the United States, which just did not happen. It wound up being much better than that, but that's a topic for an upcoming video. Yamazaki then announced the extended fan release, which would come out just a little before the movie's wide release in the United States, where you could go see early fan screenings of it here. He said that he hopes it'll be seen on the biggest screen possible with the best sound in order to strike the most fear into the hearts of the audience. The early release was on November 29th and kicked off the -1 run in America. Yamazaki and Kamiki then did an interview published on the official Godzilla website. To run through that really quickly, Yamazaki says he picked Kamiki due to his range and sensitivity and how he was able to capture both the soft and cowardly sides of Shikishima, the PTSD, and the brave and heroic sides of him. Even though the subject matter of the movie was heavy, they said they still had a lot of fun making this film. Kamiki pointing out that you could feel the passion and excitement seeping from every pore of Yamazaki's being, and that at multiple times during production he had to excitedly remind people that they're making a Godzilla movie, and it was a really important thing for him. Kamiki says he gave his soul to the movie, putting everything he had into it. He then reveals something absolutely crazy, that he was cast when he was 3 years younger than he was during that interview, which means Kamiki was cast somewhere between 2020 and 2022, but more than likely in 2021. It's crazy to think about how long these Toho Godzilla movies are being worked on before we even hear a peep about them. Wink wink. Sometimes things are happening under the radar and we don't even know it. Yamazaki then says for him, he put 50 years of his life into this movie because this is the path he's been set down ever since he was a little kid when he realized that making kaiju films was a possibility. He says he now feels a sort of emptiness now that Godzilla's left his hearts and entered the world, which I really hope he gets to fill that emptiness by making another one of these movies. I really think he deserves it, and I would love to see what else he's got in him. Please for a -2, I would love it. Then they're asked if they collect Godzilla figures, Kamiki revealing that he has 2 Godzilla figures, both from Godzilla the Ride, and Yamazaki saying he has between 4 or 5, but that one was very special to him and that he got it and watched it sell out instantly when it opened to the public. And I believe it's that Ichiban show one that he's always walking around with. I think that's what it's called. It's the one that he's always seen walking around with, I'm pretty sure is the one he's referring to. He then says he had a very special one that was 3D printed and painted that he brought on set with him for lighting purposes so they could capture the natural lighting on Godzilla in the moment, in the environment, and then translate that onto the CG model, which is just a really, really smart thing to do. And that does it for November 2023, and thankfully we're rolling through and we're now into December, and we can hopefully start to make some major progress to catch back up. I'll do my best. I will do my best. Thank you guys all for watching. I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons over on Patreon. If you want to support the Patreon, you can use the link in the description below where you can get early access to content, access to the Discord community, and more. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you all next time for the next one. D-Man out.